July 2nd, 2010. 90,000 hearts stopped beating. An entire continent held its breath. Ghana stood just one kick away from making history as the first African nation ever to reach a World Cup semi-final. The ball was placed on the penalty spot. The man stepping up was Ghana's hero, the captain, the goal scorer, the nation's hope, Asamoah Gyan. Then, bang! The ball crashed against the crossbar. The stadium exploded, but not in celebration, in heartbreak. For millions of Africans, it remains the most painful moment in World Cup history. But what happened to Asamoah Gyan after that miss? Did it destroy his career? Did Ghana ever forgive him? And how did he manage to rebuild his life after carrying the weight of an entire continent on his shoulders? Let's find out. Everyone expected him to score. After all, Gyan had already scored crucial penalties earlier in the tournament. He was Ghana's star. The pressure was enormous. Not just from Ghana, from Africa. 1 billion people seemed to be watching. He ran up, struck the ball, and hit the crossbar. The chance was gone. Moments later, Uruguay won the penalty shootout. Africa's dream was over. For many players, missing a penalty is painful. For Gyan, it became something much bigger. Some fans blamed him for the defeat. He received abuse and criticism. Years later, he admitted that the miss still haunted him. He said it would stay with him for the rest of his life. Imagine carrying that burden. Every interview, every World Cup discussion, every time someone mentions Ghana versus Uruguay, the first thing people remember is the miss. Not the goals, not the victories, not the heroics, just the miss. Here's something many people don't remember. After missing the penalty in extra time, Gyan still had to take a penalty in the shootout. Think about that. Most players would be mentally destroyed. But Gyan walked back to the spot. Again. And this time, he scored. Years later, he revealed that scoring that penalty may have saved his career. He admitted he felt mentally broken after the miss and feared his career could have ended emotionally if he hadn't converted in the shootout. That tells you everything about his mentality. Many expected Gyan's career to collapse. Instead, the opposite happened. His World Cup performances had impressed clubs across Europe. Just weeks after the tournament, he secured a big money move to Sunderland AFC in the Premier League. The transfer broke Sunderland's club record fee at the time. Despite the heartbreak, Europe still recognized his talent. He scored goals in England and quickly became a fan favorite. But then came a surprising decision. In 2011, Gyan left European football for a lucrative move to the Middle East. Many fans were stunned. Some believed he was leaving elite football too early. Others understood the financial opportunity. At Al Ain FC, he became a goal-scoring machine. Season after season, he dominated the league. He won Golden Boots. He scored more than 20 goals repeatedly. He became one of the most successful African players in Asian football history. Despite the criticism, Gyan continued serving Ghana. He represented his country in multiple tournaments. He became Ghana's all-time leading scorer with 51 international goals. Even more impressively, he became Africa's top scorer in World Cup history with 6 goals. When historians discuss Ghanaian football greatness, his name stands alongside legends like Abedi Pele. One missed penalty could never erase everything he achieved. Many people expected Gyan to hate Luis Suarez forever, but surprisingly, he doesn't. In later interviews, Gyan admitted he understood Suarez's actions. He even said he probably would have done the same thing to save his country. That's how elite athletes think. Winning sometimes requires desperate decisions. And Gyan chose to move forward rather than hold on to bitterness. In 2023, Asamoah Gyan officially retired from professional football. Today, he remains one of the greatest players Africa has ever produced. Yet the debate continues. Was he the man who missed the penalty, or was he the man who carried Ghana to within inches of history? Because without Gyan's goals earlier in the tournament, Ghana never even reaches that quarterfinal. He scored vital goals and penalties throughout the competition and was one of the stars of the World Cup. Football can be cruel. Sometimes a player's entire career is judged by a single moment. For Asamoah Gyan, that moment was a penalty that struck the crossbar. But perhaps that's unfair, because heroes aren't remembered only for the kicks they score. They're remembered for having the courage to take them. And on that night in Johannesburg, when the weight of an entire continent rested on his shoulders, Asamoah Gyan did something most of us could never do. He stepped up, even if history didn't reward him for it. What do you think? Should Asamoah Gyan be remembered for the miss, or for everything else he achieved for Ghana and Africa? Let me know in the comments.